Hi, I'm Becca, and this is my husband, Gabe.
That's me.
Welcome to the podcast celebrating Jack Russell Terrier dogs.
And all the joys of companionship with canines of every kind.
Each week, we'll explore all the heartfelt, humbling, and hilarious stories that only dog parents can truly relate to. We're Jack Russell Parents. Puppy parents, does your dog do things that are silly or confusing to you?
Carson does some really silly things.
Yeah, silly and often adorable things, like when he uses us for a pillow. I love it when he does that.
Constantly going under and out from the sheets all night long at all hours. That's adorable.
Oh, wow, there's a lot of tone in that. Is it adorable?
It's cute, but exhausting.
It is. It's tiring. Or when he lies on the floor next to the large, comfy dog bed instead of on it.
Oh,
I don't know why he does that.
And when he looks to you for confirmation about anything, he has to look to the alpha. Like, are we actually going for a walk? Do I really get a cookie? Because your word doesn't mean anything. I got to talk to the alpha first.
That is really one of the funniest things he does. You say you want to go for a walk, and he looks at me like, are we going to go?
Because his word means nothing.
And then he begs to go for a walk. And then he'll spin in circles when I try to put the leash on him. He like jukes me, you know. He's like, you can't get me. And I'm like, you want to go. Why can't I put the leash on?
He also sighs at us if the TV is too loud or if he's ready to go to bed. Well, it's more of a foof. We call it a foof. It's a
yeah. Whatever. And then one of the other silliest and weirdest things that he does is when I get dressed for the day, he smells my pant leg, you know, or whatever I'm putting on. And it's almost like he's determining by the item that I'm putting on as to where I'm going.
Right.
I feel like he knows that if I put on a certain type of pants, I'm going to work.
Yeah. or is this bumming around the neighborhood for a jog walk?
Hey, don't tell people I bum it. And then, of course, things like tennis shoes, of course, that sets him off. If I'm going to put tennis shoes on to go for a walk, he knows exactly what's happening. Otherwise, if I want to wear tennis shoes outside the house, I put them on in the laundry room where he can't see me.
It's this whole production.
So those are a few things our pup does that we find silly. But have you ever thought about what we do that they might find confusing?
I have thought about that because Carson really lets us know when he doesn't like something.
Yes. Everything is very clear in our house. So today we have a fun article from akc.org entitled 6 Things That Regularly Confuse Puppies. It's by Christina Lotz. And Christina says, I quote, "There's arguably nothing cuter than watching a puppy encounter certain things for the very first time. Our lives are full of objects that puppies find strange and downright scary. Here are 6 things that baffle puppies in the most adorable way." So number 1 on her list is vacuums.
Of course.
I don't know that this aversion to vacuums is adorable to me because I cannot vacuum with Carson in the house. He barks at it, bites at it. It really works him up.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, if I put him in the backyard to vacuum, he still barks because he can hear it, you know, and I'm sure the neighbors love that. So what we have to do is arrange a time to vacuum. One of us has to take him for a walk while the other vacuums. It's crazy.
I imagine it's the high-pitched sound that he doesn't like.
Yeah, probably.
He's very confused about why we have to push this very loud, evil, maniacal machine around the house.
Yes, and equally confusing to him is my new dust buster.
I think it's the high-pitched sounds because our blender is not very high-pitched. But when we try to use a food processor, which is, he freaks out.
Yeah, maybe it just literally hurts his ears. I don't know.
He does a lot of things that hurt my ears, so I understand.
Yes.
So number 2 is mirrors. As you know, the theme for our podcast is more than a dog, less than a person, so much to love. And Carson, we feel, is, of course, more than just a dog. And he doesn't seem to get confused by mirrors the way some dogs do.
When we first moved into our house, I had a mirror sitting on the floor, you know, for a long time because we didn't know where I wanted to put it. And he simply didn't care. It's just another object there. Like I never really caught him looking into it. But there are those super cute like puppy videos that you see online where the dog sees themselves for the first time and they think it's another dog in the room and they start bouncing around and barking and wanting to play with this other dog. And that is so funny. Those are so cute, those videos.
I wish he would do that so we could have video of it, but he's never done that, not once.
Nope. Number 3 on the list is television. Again, Carson really could care less about the television. As a matter of fact, he'd probably rather it be off. But we have a friend who was telling us about her dog and how much her dog loves to watch TV, especially when there's dogs in the show.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard of that too, but she was cracking me up when she was telling me the story because she's taught her dog to push buttons. One button says yes, the other one says no, another one says potty, another one says snack. And she said quickly the snack button had to go because that was getting pushed a lot. So this is another incredibly smart dog. Well, she was telling us that they were watching this movie where in it, and I can't remember the name of the movie, but the dogs were
being chased by dog catchers or something.
Yeah. And the dog got really kind of worked up and went over to those buttons and started hitting the no button. No.
That's amazing.
She did not want those dogs to be caught.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
I bet you all have a ton of stories about things like that your dogs do when they see certain things on TV. And it just cracks me up. But again, Carson really could care less.
He's old school like that. He's like, I want to go live my life. I want to play human interaction.
Yeah, he's all, get off the couch. Let's go outside.
Yeah, he's like the angry old man that calls the TV an idiot box.
Yeah.
Number 4 confusing item for puppies is ice cubes. Again, it's one of those things that Carson doesn't really care about. I mean, he's interested in anything that drops on the floor in the kitchen. He immediately goes for it. And, he'll play around with the ice. Eventually, he'll eat it. But he's much rather us drop meat, I'm sure.
Yeah. He's like, oh, it's just water. Okay.
Yeah.
And number 5 on the list is brooms. Oh, man. I mean, for years, so many years, Carson would attack a broom. So we'd, just like the vacuum, we'd have to take him outside just to sweep our floors. It's hard enough to keep your house clean, folks. When you have to plan it like that, it's even harder. But then when we moved into our house and everything was still new for him, I brought out the broom and he actually let me use it. And I don't know if it was because he was distracted by just being in a completely new space and he had plenty of other things to pay attention to and investigate, or if he was actually starting to mature a little bit. But now I am so delighted to say I can sweep whenever I want.
We don't have to check with his manager or his agent yet to see if it fits his schedule.
Nope.
And at last, we have number 6, phones. We know that Carson has no interest in bright, moving objects. Not at all. In fact, he doesn't even like us to take his picture with our phones.
Doesn't like that.
He doesn't like the phone being near him at all. And that makes me wonder, should we care about whether or not this radioactive object is in our hands all day, every day?
Well,
probably. Should. Because he doesn't want to be anywhere near it.
Yeah. He also, on occasion, though, will steal a cell phone if it's been left on the couch.
Yeah.
And, we'll find it under another couch or the bed or whatever.
He just wants to trade it for a bacon treat.
Yes. That's his only interest in it. It's leverage. It's
it's loot, as Ed would say in Dogs in Space.
Yes, it's his loot. And he's like, what can I trade for this? That is his only interest in phones. And I think the only other maybe a little bit confusing thing for him, though, is when we put one another on speakerphone and he can hear our voice. He does kind of look around the house like, where are they? I can hear them. So if you are bringing home a new pup, be sure to introduce these items very early on to teach them that there is nothing to be confused or scared of. And some of these items your doggy may never get used to, i.e. Carson and the vacuum. But you do what you can to help calm their fears. And stay with us because we have some fantastic replies from other puppy parents about what their dogs find confusing. And we can't forget Instadog.
So we'll be right back. And in the meantime, you can check out these commercials for some awesome holiday gift ideas.
11-year-old Walter just may die of boredom doing the most boring summer ever. While exploring an abandoned garden, Walter discovers a mystical elf world where all dead plants spring to life at his touch. The downtrodden elves think Walter is there to save them with his new life-giving powers, to defeat the wicked Ichabod von Schnothoof before he sucks everyone's joy dry with his never-ending list of rules. Walter will need to use his best power yet, his imagination. In a dying, oppressed world, one boy has the power to bring freedom and life. Walter Plume and the Dehydrated Imagination will take you and your middle grade reader on a thrilling journey while igniting the depths of your imagination. Boys the Book says, beautiful imagery leads to spectacular world building in this fantasy that will leave the young reader glued to the pages. Relatable characters add to the magic of the story with never a dull moment. Get your magical fingers on a copy of Walter Plume and the Dehydrated Imagination by Rebecca Lynn Morales, now at Amazon.com. Find out more at walterplume.com. Let Walter and his story awaken your beautiful and creative imagination.
You know, I found the best way to meet new people is through our mutual love of dogs. People love sharing their dog stories with other puppy parents and introducing their dogs to us and vice versa.
Every time we take Carson for a walk, new friendships are born.
I know, right? Like people cross the street, even come out of their homes to make Carson's acquaintance.
But we can't take him everywhere.
Unfortunately, no. But that's when our Jack Russell Parents attire takes effect. Cute holiday prints like fall in love with a Jack Russell. I'm thankful for my Jack Russell. All I want for Christmas is a Jack Russell. And puppies make the season merry and bright are the perfect way to celebrate the season and your adorable pup. So are you a proud puppy parent that wants to connect with other puppy parents? Or do you simply like super cute doggy themed attire to go with your cozy leggings or heavy coat? Either way, we have what you need at the Jack Russell Parent Store.
All our awesome prints come in a variety of t-shirts, hoodies, baby onesies, coffee mugs, and even face masks. Your choice.
To join the doggy squad, check out all the rad merch options at jackrussellparents.com. Simply click on shop at the top and place your order. Happy holidays, puppy parents! We are back and we're zooming into the studio for Insta Dog of the Week. Today we have Little Bailey Russell. That's at Little Bailey Russell, all one word. So before we talk about what we love about Bailey, here is what Bailey's mama has to say about her pup.
At Little Bailey Russell features our 17-year-old Jack Russell, Bailey, and her adventures as a senior dog in Hershey, Pennsylvania. She's sweet and grumpy and lovable, and we're just so lucky to be experiencing these golden years with her. So many followers have contacted us and shared stories about their own senior dogs, and we just love how they connect with Bailey and her experiences.
Oh, I love that part about how other puppy parents are reaching out and sharing their stories about their senior pups. So, Gabe, let's take a look at this awesome page. What jumps out at you?
The first thing that jumps out at me on Little Bailey Russell's page is that she looks so much like our first Jack Russell when he was 17 years old. They just have that little white face. Even the shape of their ears and the shape of their face is so similar. She looks just like our precious Wiggles who left us. So hopefully Little Bailey Russell has many more years to come. If you were a puppy, she'd be the sweet grandma that you would want in your life. Grandma puppy. Her latest post is a video, actually. It's her Christmas list for Santa. It's so adorable. She's sitting in front of the Christmas tree. She wants some treats, a trip to the beach, a warm jacket, a trip to the beach, somewhere warmer than Pennsylvania, a nice collar, a quilt, to go somewhere warmer than Pennsylvania. So I see a theme.
She's chilly.
She's a little chilly. Yeah, they get chilly. It's funny because this breed is from England, right? Where it gets very cold, and yet they don't do well in the cold.
No.
They don't have thick coats, so you got to get them a jaqueta.
Yeah, they need a jaqueta and a blankie and need to be inside dogs. Aw. I have so many. They really crack me up. There's one where they're in Christmas jammies. So the caption reads, "Throwback to last Christmas and our matching Christmas pajamas. Can't say I was a fan, but the puppy seemed to think they were cool." So there's another dog in several of her pictures that she calls the puppy. It's her puppy. And it's so cute because it's bigger than she is, but obviously
It's
younger. And so it's the puppy. She refers to it as the puppy. It's really cute. And they're in matching Christmas jammies. Like,
hilarious.
my word. And then she has several little hat or, sweaters with hoods with.
It's a onesie that has a hood face.
Yeah. This one cracks me up because it's green and it's got frog ears on it. And it says, "Fun fact, I'm not actually a frog."
Hashtag frog hoodie.
So cute. And then one of my other favorites is these yellow ears that she has. She has these on in a few pictures, but it just cracks me up. It like wraps around her head and it's these two big yellow puff balls. And there's a picture of her in those in front of these goats, and this goat's eyes are like so wide. He's like, "What?
Like, what's happening?"
Oh, these are fantastic. And she's just adorable. And she has this sweet, like we said, this sweet little old face, but yet she has so much soul in her eyes. She's lived a life. She's lived a good life.
She's seen some things.
She's seen some things. She got a lot going on in there. Oh, Bailey,
puppy.
you're a sweetheart. So be sure to add this darling old girl and her emotional support puppy to your Insta feed. That's at Little Bailey Russell.
So thanks again, Little Bailey's mama, for sending in your voice. We'd love to hear from other puppy parents, not just written on social media, but actually hear your voices so we can include in our show. If you want your pup showcased, just go to jackrussellparents.com/showcase, click the big red button, and you can send us a voicemail talking about how awesome your pup is. We would love to include it.
Yeah, send them over, folks. We cannot wait to hear all about your pups. Next up is Puppy Parent Replies. Now, staying on theme, we asked other puppy parents, what is a human behavior that you think might be confusing for dogs? And we got some fantastic answers.
Some good ones, yeah.
Phoenix P says, taking a bath voluntarily.
So confusing.
So if I take a bath, Carson will literally come and he'll check on me in there, but he won't get close to the bath because he's like, I'm not getting in.
Yeah.
Don't even try.
He's on guard for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Stacy P says, petting the human when I could be petting the doggo. How dare I?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's a whole production in our house. Anytime we're too close to each other on the couch, too close to each other in the bed, giving a shoulder rub, he just dives right in the middle.
He's like, my turn.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't really actually get my turn. Thanks. Donna H says, I think they get confused when we worry. I think so too. I think when we are really anxious or upset, they might not really know how to process that.
Sandra G says, picking up their poop. Yes, I'm sure Carson's very confused. He's repulsed by his own business.
Yes, he avoids it like the plague.
So
he's like, yeah, you can do that because I don't want it. Along the same lines, Swanee S says, wiping bum after business. And then she was sweet and said, sorry for the language. I think we can say bum. I think that's all right. But yes, I would agree. It's a necessity if they're an inside dog, let me tell you.
Mary L says, my dog is so confused when I prepare some food and don't inhale it immediately. Like if I make lunch and then I putter around about getting something to read or watch, he's following me around and glancing back at the plate like, what is going on here? There's food. What are you doing? All caps. Of course, he's waiting for his bite and his lick plate, she calls it. Yeah, Carson gets his lick plate. He gets plenty of bites, the puppy tax, we call it. If it's something good, he will harass me, is the word I want to use. And I have to eat it really fast. I can't just take my time with coffee and biscuit in the morning. It's like, and once it's gone, he completely leaves me alone.
I just think this is so funny because just this morning you were having a muffin and coffee and you wanted to, sip it, take a bite, wait a while, have another bite. But he's in here like...
It was a gingerbread muffin, too, for the holidays. I didn't even taste the ginger.
Stop it.
I had to eat it so fast.
Jan K says, when I bark back at my dog... Yes, they do get very confused if you try to do their same behaviors.
It's funny, that's going around right now. Sneeze at your dog or bark at your dog to see how they would react.
They don't like it.
They start zooming around, right? It's like a call to action.
Yep.
Next, we have Jamie L., who says, going back and forth to different rooms because I forgot something and then forgot something else. Yeah.
They just want you to settle.
Yep. Especially Jacks. They got to know everything that's going on every moment of every day in every room. And the more you move around, he starts getting frustrated after a while.
Mm-hmm. Cheryl K says, putting on clothes. Yes, I would agree.
Ron O says, going to work. I'm sure they think I'm going to the park without them.
Yeah, they might. They hate to get left behind. Becky T says, yelling during sporting events on television. So, Becky, I don't know if I should tell you this, but we're not really sports fans. But we do get rather vocal when watching the British Bake Off.
Carl L. says, talking on the phone. Yeah, I guess he doesn't know who we're talking to.
Agreed. Di D says, crying. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know if Carson's confused or if he wants to play regardless. He's like, oh, you're sad? Here's a ball.
Very few times he'll come and he'll kind of like hug you for comfort. And most of the times it seems like he's trying to change the subject. Hey, let's play.
Yeah.
You're sad, let's play. It always helps me. You're giving me a solution. I didn't answer one. But...
Stop.
Sherry P says, going to the bathroom in the house.
I hope she means in the toilet.
I'm sure that's what she means.
Jax S says that I'm allowed to eat snacks in bed and he's not allowed to keep his food in it. Yeah, I could see that'd be confusing. Carson's also not allowed to play in the bed, and that frustrates him sometimes. So there will likely always be confusing things between us and our pups, but one thing is clear. All this silliness gives us more reasons to love one another. Did you enjoy this episode? Did you learn from the content? Or did you just have a good, relatable laugh? Well, now what? It's time to subscribe, follow, keep listening, and give a positive review on the Apple Podcast app. Then share the podcast with other puppy parents. This will allow us to connect you and your friends with fun, dog-loving content week after week. Until next time, this is Becca and Gabe, the Jack Russell parents.
Say bye, Carson.
We'd love to connect with you online at jackrussellparents.com or on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at JRT Podcasts. That's at JRT for Jack Russell Terrier Podcast.
The Jack Russell Parents Podcast is produced by Earball Audio.
Jack Russell Parents is brought to you in part by Super Chewer. From the makers of BarkBox, Super Chewer is a themed monthly delivery of toys and treats made especially for dogs who play harder and demand a challenge. Simply go to jackrussellparents.com and click the Super Chewer link to enjoy their great offers while also supporting our podcast.